Thank you everybody for joining this webinar about the livable smart city by design. My name is Wilco Leenslag. As Derek mentioned, I'm working at KPMG Innovation Advisory in the Netherlands. And I've been working also as a program manager for the Amsterdam Innovation Arena at the Johan Cruijff Arena in Amsterdam. And that is a topic I want to highlight in depth during this webinar, because I think that is a good case study for a smart city by design. And I really would like to showcase that for you during this webinar. So this webinar is about the livable smart city by design of the Johan Cruijff Arena, and how do we make a city livable, safe, sustainable, and accessible and inclusive. A lot of themes and topics that I will reflect on during this webinar. I will keep it short so that we still make it to 10:30. Well, what you see here is back in the mid-90s a clear greenfield area in Amsterdam, to be specific in the southeast area, where the local football club Ajax needed a new stadium. And you already see the markings in the middle. But that's where the whole smart city design already began in the mid-90s, because it was really a design to make it more than just a football stadium. It was a platform where all kinds of innovations come together. Yeah, back in the 90s, a new football stadium was needed for the local football club Ajax. And in the beginning, it was already a public-private partnership. And that is important to highlight when it comes to smart cities, because smart city is not only a public affair, it's not only a private affair. It is where public and private parties come together and work together in shaping the whole use cases of smart city applications. Since the mid-90s, the arena has been a city center for big events, big conferences, and of course also football matches. Therefore, it already had in the beginning a retractable rooftop, so it could be used as a multifunctional platform. Nowadays, it looks more like this, the whole southeast area. Again, in the middle, the arena is located as a stadium still, but it also has impact on the area surrounding it, where all kinds of shops, corporate companies are located, and also other venues like the Ziggo Dome, which is a concert area, and also AFAS Live. So in a small area, you can have 3 concerts at the same time, which have a huge impact on mobility, crowd management, and also safety. And also the access towards this area is a topic of attention for the arena, because you can imagine that when people come to events, a lot of traffic via the train stations that you see below, but also via the roads. So this is basically an whole extension of the city of Amsterdam, where new developments, new experiments, and new concepts and technology can be tested and implemented before they are scaled also towards the city and beyond. And the Amsterdam Arena, Johan Cruijff Arena, is in the midst of it. An important year was in 2015, where an innovation lab was created, and the Amsterdam Innovation Arena is also founded by the Johan Cruijff Arena and also the city of Amsterdam. And a lot of strategic partnerships have been shaped throughout this in Amsterdam Innovation Arena. KPMG is one of them, but others are, of course, Microsoft when it comes to the Azure platform. KPN has a 5G test lab here where they can test connectivity with 5G for video and virtual realities. You can also see BAM and Eaton who have implemented a large battery, which I will talk about in a short while. So it's a whole ecosystem of public and private parties that innovate together within the arena and within the area of the arena, all with their own innovation topics. Some focus more on sustainability, some more on safety, some more on data, etc. But they all come together in the innovation arena, both physically and also digitally. You can see here the important topics currently, the important themes that the innovation arena is trying to manage. So you have the basic infrastructure, fan experience, of course, customer journey, the whole travel towards the stadium, safety and security in and surrounding the stadium is an important topic, sustainability, of course, and the whole building asset management. And some of the concrete solutions that are implemented, I will highlight in a few moments, but they are also located at the bottom. So all the parties that you saw before innovate on these topics in the arena together with other parties. Yeah, so for example, when it comes to data governance on the Azure platform, KPMG is working with Microsoft. In the Open Innovation Challenge, Change the Game, you can see that Ajax, the Dutch Soccer League, a dance event organizer, ID&T, are also working together. So many partners are working together to basically experiment and implement smart and innovative solutions for city and urban development. Now, one of the solutions is the high-tech turf. It has to do with the grass in the stadium, where multiple sensors are monitoring the health of the grass and are shown in the dashboard, basically to provide a health number for the grass. And this solution is now also implemented in other city area developments to monitor basically all kinds of IoT sensors in an Azure and Power BI dashboard. So the lessons learned here are now also used for other topics in the city and urban development. For one topic, the safety and security theme, the arena has shaped an operational mobility center, which is basically a physical location that you see in the bottom, where all kinds of stakeholders come together during an event and monitor the traffic and the crowd management towards and also within the stadium. So it has multiple stakeholder utilization, and it combines all kinds of data sources together to monitor crowd management, traffic, and also intervene. One of the solutions also developed here is the mobility portal that you see on the right side on the screen, where users, visitors can already book a parking place or book a train ticket in advance, so making sure that they can come on time during an event. Another thing in the area of sustainability is the smart energy grid arena. The arena currently has a 3 megawatt battery storage. It's located in the building. That battery storage is used by almost 115 old electric vehicle batteries, in this case the Nissan Leaf batteries. So the first generation of Nissan Leafs have second-hand batteries that are used now for 3 megawatt battery storage. In the beginning, the arena used this battery storage for backup facilities. So during an event that in case a power shortage during an event would occur, the battery could provide the stadium for about 1 hour of power. However, that is not the only use case currently. Afterwards, new use cases were developed for this battery storage. So it's now also used to stable the power supply in the direct area during non-concert hours. So you can imagine that a stadium is used one time in 2 weeks, and then the rest of the days and hours, the battery is used to stabilize the power supply. Currently, a new experiment is running live at this moment, where electric vehicles can also store their energy in the battery. You would say, why would I do that? Because I only want to use that power for my own car. But you can imagine that if you share your energy from your electric vehicle, if you have enough electricity, then you can get paid for that, and also or get a free parking place or get better parking places. So all kinds of new use cases are being developed now in the arena for this battery storage. So that's on the sustainability. Yeah, also it's important when you implement, you see here the battery storage in the basement of the arena, to to make it clear what the value is, and to make the value very tangible, because a backup storage, energy storage like this is beforehand more expensive than for example, a diesel generated backup storage. Because it's new technology, it's not used that often, and you have to facilitate a large room for it. But the impact, the true impact of this is much more than only a backup storage. If you calculate what you can do with a backup storage next to a backup scenario, like power balancing, peak shaving, provide load management for car vehicles, you get all kinds of new business models that you may not thought of in the beginning. And therefore you will create what we call the real true value of a solution like this. So we are very keen on innovating here at Arena, and also looking what the true value is for a certain solution. Another topic that we are working on is how can we not only innovate ourselves, but let also other people, other organizations innovate in the stadium. Last year we did that we called Change the Game, which was the Open Innovation Challenge to find solutions, in this case for fan experience, to enhance the fan experience before, during, and after an event in a city and urban environment. We opened up that challenge for the whole community worldwide, globally. And we selected, basically the arena selected finalists from over 32 countries worldwide to come to Amsterdam and implement their solutions. So in, let's say, May last year, we had an event with 35 finalists. They had meetings with 41 experts of the arena, Ajax, KPMG, IDT, etc. And we, in the end, 26 winners were selected to implement their solution in the stadium. Well, what that all has to do with a smart stadium. All those solutions are used to make a inclusive, smart city by design. And the arena really wants to be a social valley, not a Silicon Valley, but a social valley for the rest of the world. And they also want to use their solutions in an urban environment. So the vision that the arena currently has was from a multifunctional stadium towards a sustainable building, towards an innovation arena, and the next level will be a really social value within the arena area towards 2025, where we also will shape all kinds of new smart city solutions next to the currently developed solutions. So that is our next goal, and that highlights also the circle at the top. Our next objective is to really find and develop solutions that fit in the strategic development goals of the UN towards 2030. So how does our livable smart city by design looks like? Again, it focuses on the area of the arena where a large redevelopment is taking place in the coming years. Both for residential, commercially, events, schooling, all kinds of topics. And the arena has taken a leading role in developing the smart city by design. And by design means that it will last for many, many years. So a definition, if you will, and has been shaped, and that it has to be a smart city by design has to be a cyclic way of developing. So it has to be adaptable for the changing environment that we have to deal with, because in the Netherlands, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, it was almost unimaginable to think that we would get rid of our gas supply, and that has changed rapidly. So our whole environment and ecosystem has to change also very rapidly to deal with all those changing environments. So we really want to do that by design, so that if changes occur, that we really can do that. So the focus areas in the Smart City by Design in the ARENPOORT are, of course, on sustainability, mobility, inclusiveness and health of the people, and again, of safety and security. So here you see also similar topics as we have discussed earlier in the innovation arena, but now also for the city area. To experiment in real life, we also experiment in the digital world. So we've created a digital twin and ask people who want to test or implement their solution to do that first in the digital environment to see what the impact is, and then do that also in the physical area. And again, we really want to measure that impact on a true value way, because we notice that innovation and changes always have some high cost upfront and uncertain benefits later in the future. And that is also always a difficult discussion. Therefore, we also want to impact the true value of innovations. And the true value for us is, you can see that on the left side, it is to do on economical levels, of course, the monetize certain solution, but also how does it impact the social element? Will people be more healthy? Will people be have more jobs? Do they have more activities in sports? And also on environmental. What is the impact on the environment on a sustainability level? To give an example, another example in another area is Volvo, the Volvo case in Sweden, where they have changed their diesel buses towards electric buses, and they noticed that, and again, the same as the battery in Arena, that the electric buses are, from a cost perspective, more expensive than electric diesel buses, therefore a negative business case. But if you look at all the factors and you quantify that also in euros, you see that the benefits are more than only buying and maintaining a bus. So driving with electric buses in the city will increase social has a social savings because it's buses can drive also, electric buses can also drive in the night and therefore create more safety. it has a travel time savings because they can travel more often and other places where the diesel buses cannot come. It has savings on healthcare costs because electric buses have no emissions. And of course, it reduces CO2 carbon footprint. And if you quantify those, the business case will really change also for other stakeholders like the city, like investors, because they are really looking at also these kinds of topics and indicators. So again, to summarize, we are currently working on scaling up all those solutions towards the city and quantify them on a true value level. So we're really working on smart by design and true value for everyone. Just checking the time. Okay, it's 10:30. So I think I need to wrap it up a little bit. So again, I hope this webinar was somewhat informative to you. And if you have any questions about this, or you want more information, because I could talk hours about this, please contact me and I will provide you with more information. So Derek, maybe it's back to you then.
Perfect. Thank you, Wilco. Thank you so much for a very informative presentation. Before we let you go, I did have one question to ask you. So when you were talking about the battery storage applications at Arena Day, and you mentioned that you have to also look at to see what type of new business model potentials there are in order to prove the value. Can you give a few examples of some of the new business models?
Absolutely. Again, the energy storage was initially built to replace the diesel generator as a backup system. From a Euro perspective, that was a dead business case. But again, the Arena choose to do it anyways because they want to be CO2 neutral. But during non-events, during normal days, they use the battery towards the energy supplier to balance the grid. And they get paid for that. So once in 2 weeks, there's an event, and then the battery is used for backup. And the other days, so let's say 13 out of the 14 days, the Arena is getting paid for balancing the grid. And that helps enormously in the business case for battery storage. And that is something that you often do not figure out up front, but you develop during experimenting with such a type of innovations. So that would be my lesson learned. Yes, a new innovation can be expensive, but there can be multiple new business cases or value cases for that solution. You really have to think about that. I hope that answers the question.